got another tutorial for you today. This time we're doing DIY gym equipment, namely a dipping belt. Now I haven't already got one. I went on eBay trying to save a few bucks. The cheapest one I could find was like $15, but kind of looked at it, it looked a bit shifty, and the next ones up were anywhere between 30 to 60 bucks. I figured, you know what, like I'm just gonna go down to Bunnings and make a makeshift dipping belt of my own. So I'm gonna have a go at it, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. And if you're looking to make some cheap ass ghetto equipment, well, you found the right video. So stay tuned. Okay, so the parts that I've picked up in total is gonna be 5 components. I was gonna go with a chain, but I checked the prices down at Bunnings. It was like something like $7 a meter, and the whole point of this is to try and save a bit of cash. So I saw this rope on clearance, all-purpose rope, 8mm, and there's 20 meters of it, so that's more than plenty. In fact, I'll be uploading a few more videos where we can probably make use of this and make some more equipment. This one has a breaking strength of 500 kilos. Guys, I don't lift that much, so this is more than plenty. So yeah, this one set me up. It was on special, so it was $1.50 on clearance. I think even a regular price is only $3, so that's probably a really good choice to get for this project. Now, the one thing we probably won't skimp on, and I decided not to skimp on, the rope's easily replaceable, so if you find the belt's gonna wear out, I figured, it's cheap enough to replace. Carabiners, now don't get those crappy ones that you put your keys on. Safety first, we are putting, considerable weight load on this dipping belt, so the last thing you want is the weight plate to just fall off, or it's the weakest link in the chain. So I've picked up these Zenith snap hook 8mm carabiners. These ones were about $3.70 a piece. Not that expensive, so grab 2 of them. One of them is going to secure the belt to you, and the other one is going to secure the loop that's going to hold your weight plate, your dumbbell, or whatever else you want to attach to use as weight if you're doing pull-ups or dips or anything you need to add a bit of extra resistance. Now, you could probably get away with just using the carabiners and the rope, but I decided to go one step further, and it's a ghetto build, but you know what, there's no reason it can't look pretty sweet. So simple thing, gaffer tape. I got the black one, keep it simple, nice and strong, easy to work with. There is a smaller roll than this. I got the big one because, as I said, there's going to be more videos coming up, so don't skimp on it. Everyone can use gaffer tape. Everyone, it's important. And for the sake of being tidy and trying to make it nice and neat and a bit less headachy trying to make this thing, I just grabbed some cable ties. And you know what, like, half of you guys probably already have this stuff lying at home, so all the power to you, make it much cheaper. So let's get to it. Okay, the first part we're gonna do is we're gonna measure out the belt. So it's gonna go around the waist at the hip level, so that's where it's gonna hang off if you're doing your dips and that sort of thing. I've already pre-cut this and measured it, so it's a lot easier to film and show you guys on camera. But basically, to measure the length, it's not strict. More is better, so you can always tie back the slack or cut a bit more off. But what I've done, I suppose, as a general rule of thumb, is have it on your hips with the ropes even, and sort of where it's going to attach. Just allow about a hand's width, so it's sort of sitting snug on your hip, and you got about hand's width there, so it makes it easy to tie. And it's pretty comfortable, so, and it's quite secure, so it's not too loose that it's gonna fall off, and it's not too tight that it's gonna hurt your stomach or your back. Okay, so now that we've sort of cut the rope to length and we've got that hand space, what we want to do is where the sort of 2 meets up to allow that hand space, we're gonna start making loops. So probably be wise if you grab just a marker or something to mark it with. There you go. So take your marker and just mark out where the meeting point's going to be. Okay, so now that we've got our marks, what we're gonna do is we're going to fold this so that the end of the rope is gonna meet up with the mark. So that's the loop. Now to tie the loop, we've folded it together with the end at the mark. We're gonna pretend it's one piece of rope. So we're just gonna tie a simple knot from there. So grab that bit, alright? So you create a loop, like so. So it's gonna go over and under and through. Use a bit more slack, it's a lot easier to tie. There we go. Just make sure it's secure. Now a good thing about this is that as it has a bit of weight on it, it's actually going to tighten itself up, so it's quite safe to use. Alright, I think that's pretty secure. Just double check. Now take your time with this, make sure everything's all good. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. Okay, so we find our mark. So we've marked it out here. Same thing again, so fold the end to that mark. Alright, so one piece. We're going to fold it like that. Over, under, and then through. And there we go. So that's our loop there, and then just make sure you double check for the fit that everything's all good. So we got it here. So we got the two loops there. Yep. And okay, now for the second length of rope, we're gonna make the bit that actually attaches onto either the weight plate you're gonna use or the dumbbells that you're gonna use. So people go to different dirhams, people use different weights, so you're gonna have to, I suppose, just make the measurement based on where you want the weight to be hanging. So it's not going to like knock anything. Sort of like lower is probably a little bit better, so it's a lot easier to set up. Closer, you run the risk of it swinging and hitting your body. So what I've actually done, I've actually taken a weight plate so I can take an educated guess as to how far I need the rope to hang down, which is going to attach to that first piece of rope that we've previously made, and I've just put the carabiner. I made a mistake. You actually only just need the one carabiner, so it's cheaper again, 10 bucks. So there you go. Okay, so that's gonna hang there. Now, take your plate and we're gonna just feed it through and hold on to the weight, and with the other hand just sort of loop it here. And kind of have a feel for sort of where it's going to hang. For me, the kind of plates I'm probably going to be using, I'd say I probably have it hanging around sort of around the knees, so that once you've got that, yep, we can mark out where we need the loops to be. Okay, so I know I'm going to need it at least that long. And this is going to be exactly the same as the first one, but I'm going to repeat it again because, I just had to look at I previewed the footage and it didn't really look very clear when I was tying up the knots, so we'll give that another shot. Okay, so where you want the loop to be, we're going to fold it. There. And you really need to exaggerate this. We'll get a better camera, we'll get a cameraman. Anyway, so there you go. So it's gonna go like this, and it's gonna, I think this view is probably better. So this is gonna go behind, right? Forward, and then back through. Now hopefully this time around you can actually see what's going on. So there you go, that's the loop there. And we're gonna do the same for the other side. So we folded it. So just make sure again, we double check the length, so it's gonna attach here. Yeah, about that much. Cool. So about here. So I'm gonna fold it there. Alright, so it's gonna go get that bit, so it's gonna go from my point of view behind, and then once it's below here, I'm gonna go forward and then back through this little hole here. And then just pull it tight. And there you go. Now just to double check the fit, so I've already set everything up here. So take your carabiner, the fat end that way, because the weight's going to hang down. It's a lot safer. One loop through. Yep. And just grab your weight plate, feed it through, and attach it to the carabiner. And there you go. Make sure you test it. I think I probably should shorten it a bit, but this is something you're going to have to play around with because everyone's different heights. I'm a shorty, so I need to make sure that this is a lot shorter. Yeah. Okay, I probably spent the past 10 minutes piss fighting around with the lengths. Once I got them down, got the knots, pretty much it. So the 2 pieces of rope, loops on either end, one for the waist, which is this one here. So pretty simple to use. Chuck this one around the waist, carabiner already in. Secure it to the carabiner there. Yep. And we'll take the one that's going to attach to the weight. Probably easier if you just attach one side first to the carabiner. Also, you would have noticed that I've actually tied it up to secure it. Yeah, just to be safe. I put the zip tie at where the knot is to stop it from moving around, and just so it doesn't look so ghetto. Actually, probably makes it look more ghetto with the gaffer tape. But yeah, I wrapped up the cloth tape so no bits of rope flailing around. It looks a lot neater. I'll post up some pictures at the end of the vid just to give you a clearer view of everything. Okay, so we'll put one end here, carabiner, put it through your weight, and then secure it to your carabiner. And there you go. Ghetto dip belt. Let's go test it out. Have it, guys. DIY dip belt, definitely success. Only one carabiner is probably the note I'm gonna make as a correction. You only need to buy one of those carabiners, so I think the total cost will probably come to about $10 with a whole heap of spare rope that we can use in future episodes here at the cAGE. So thanks for tuning in, and be safe. Make sure that you check that all the knots are secure and take your time with it. Safety first always. So train safe, train hard. Have a good one.